Okay.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're talking drugs and religion. Some cultures and faith teach drugs, treat medicine like a gift from the gods, and others act like it's evil. So tonight we're going to discuss how we all feel about it, being former fundies. So yeah, welcome back. Hey, good to see you, Dr. Time Waster. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm glad you're back too. And sorry we missed
Oh,
you last
yeah.
time, but honestly, I thought if we don't do it this time, it's never gonna happen.
I know. I was missing you guys. I was like, I have to stay up tonight and
Yes,
talk to everybody.
I'm so glad we're all here. Yay! Welcome
Yeah.
everybody.
First time in forever.
Welcome to the channel. Welcome Dobstopper.
Thank
Welcome
you.
Mr. Rickshaw. Thank you
Well,
for coming.
he's not a formal fundy, so
He
that
is.
that was a little bit of a lie, but
So
It's
you're not
not.
us
welcome.
we are.
How would you characterize your background there, Tyler?
Mhm.
And that explains it all. I
Perfect.
think that
Exactly
says
what
it
we
all.
were looking for. Yeah, so I don't know, Dobstopper and I were chit-chatting and kind of started thinking about this topic, and I mean, I prepared as well as not at all. So but it was
Works
kind of a
for me.
last minute topic discussion as well. So
Mhm, mhm.
I think that we're all probably equally prepared on this topic as the audience watching.
I
Welcome. Thank
googled
you
it.
for joining. Dan.
I googled it.
You Googled it. Awesome. Actually, I also Googled two very specific questions, and I got two similar questions, but I got two different like completely different kinds of information. So now I'm actually wanting to rabbit hole the references that the AI picked for me to answer my questions. But I would like to hear
Mm.
what you have to say first.
Oh. Well, I'm definitely probably gonna end up whenever I Google things, I often end up with more questions than answers. But I did see a variety of drugs and religions listed. There's actually a Wikipedia article that I briefly looked over. But it mainly was listing the primary religions, like the Abrahamic ones, Hinduism, Buddhism, ones that everybody thinks about all the time. I want to know, and I still do not know at this point in time, how were drugs used in Zoroastrianism or
Oh.
ancient pagan, which I know some ancient pagan stuff. Um, but like mushroom use has been around a long time in a lot of religions. The holy anointing oil, I think, is something, Ryan, you might have been briefly mentioning something in the Bible that might have been cannabis. I think holy
Yeah.
anointing oil might have contained cannabis. The
Hmm.
anointing oil that's in
What
Exodus.
culture, religion?
In the book of Exodus, so the
Oh, uh,
Old
Judaism.
Testament, yeah, Judaism. Um, and that was pretty much all I really got into. I mean, there's a few
Right.
other ones that I could just list, like peyote use in Native American religion, but I didn't go into the details of how these things are used because I didn't have much time.
I'm yeah, I would say I kind of approached a similar search. I what did I do? At first, I wrote down all the things I could think of off the top of my head. And then I started going down a rabbit hole of different things. And then you brought up when we were backstage and we were talking about it. And I said, I don't know, drugs and religion. And the first thing you brought up was Jim Jones.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah,
we started talking about
Yeah.
Heaven's Gate.
Yep.
right.
So
Did you look up what the Heaven's Gate cocktail was?
Did you look it
I,
up?
I thought Tyler knew what it was.
You've been Jim Jones was cyanide.
Jim Jones was
No,
cyanide, but what about Heaven's Gate?
yeah, Heaven's Gate.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's find out
oh, okay.
what the mixture was. 'Cause I'm pretty
Yeah, I'd
sure
like
they had
to
a
know.
drink.
but like it's still a use of like if you can call a cult worship a form of worship, I think you would say, didn't you say they were practicing taking the Kool-Aid for the dry run for the real time when
Mm.
I don't know
Jonestown.
I don't know how Jim Jones specifically
Well, he wasn't. What it really wasn't them. It wasn't practice. They didn't know. He was like, it was. He was telling them that's what they was doing, but it wasn't. He was just testing them to see if they'll go through it.
Oh, I see. It was
They
a kind of
didn't. They
test
thought
for upper
they.
management.
Yeah, they knew. They thought it was real every time he did it. But that last time was
Oh,
a show.
Every
geez.
time he did it, but they didn't
No,
realize
yeah,
that it was actually fake the first times. And then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it was a test.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew that they had drink it before and
Don't
that it was
drink the
not actually
Kool-Aid.
poisoned before.
But was it actual Kool-Aid or did they use like
No,
the
it
flavoring?
was.
It was Kool-Aid and
Was it
cyanide.
Flavor Aid or was it?
Yeah, Flavor Aid.
Okay.
One of those Kool-Aid packet things with mixed with cyanide.
But I'm just wondering, like, did Kool-Aid hijack the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it a marketing
People,
thing?
no, people incorrectly prescribed it to
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. Yeah, and
Kool-Aid
I
was
don't think
probably like,
Kool-Aid. I don't think they were
free
happy about
advertising.
it.
Yeah, because everybody
supposedly
thought
they weren't happy about it.
because everybody thought Kool-Aid
Oh.
was that's when people didn't understand brands versus product.
True.
So like, oh,
Yeah.
Kool-Aid is everything's Kool-Aid.
I don't
Yeah,
think it was the cyanide that did it. It was clearly the dyes, the food dyes.
Definitely,
Well, RFK thinks so. So yeah.
The methylene blue got
It
them.
definitely got them. That red, what's that red number? Red 40?
Red
Yeah,
number
this
5
got him.
or red number 40.
Oh, brother. And then they got autism, which is also caused by vaccines, apparently. Anyhow,
But not the microplastics. That is perfectly safe and not a problem.
even though it's in our brain
Move
and
along.
stuff now.
Along
Oh,
with the lead paint chips.
Okay. This is what Heaven Gates did. I'm probably gonna butcher this word.
Oh,
You
okay.
probably-
Yeah, what they do? Tell us.
She'll know what it is. She'll know up there. They took phenobarbital
Phenobarbital. Okay.
mixed with applesauce or pudding and washed it down with vodka. But hold on.
How,
Then they tied plastic bags over their head.
Stop.
Yeah. Okay. So what they did then was die of suffocation, I assume.
Yeah.
But they palliatively sedated themselves so it wouldn't be an unpleasant experience to die of suffocation and be awake. So they basically sedated themselves to then suffocate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was gonna say that would have to be a lot of phenobarbital. You'd have to
They did it over.
kill yourself with it.
They did it in like different groups. Because the one group tied the bag, other people.
Wasn't there someone left alive at the end of it? Wasn't there a survivor at the end? Like one person that.
Well, no, it's not technically Heaven's Gate.
The last person in the massage train.
Actually, there's actually people who were still part of it today that they just left before they did that. Like the guy who reported it had left, but he's still, well, at least at that time, but that interview, he's still
one of them still runs the website, I believe.
Somebody has to be paying that domain to keep it up. Somebody's paying that hosting.
It's still up to like as far as 2 years ago. I haven't checked it since then.
It's still up. It's still up.
Religion.
It doesn't.
You're like, I check it every day. Make it see if it's still up. Oh, yep, it's
still up. Still there. They're still up there.
Wow.
Yep,
Well,
I hope they come back.
more
What if
fun
aliens
ways to
visit us
enjoy a
and those
cult,
guys
I'm
walk
sure.
out? I'm sorry, what?
So wait, so that drug, how would they get that drug? Is that drug just
I mean, it's a prescription only medication, but I mean, people obtain things like that multiple
and what did you
ways.
say
Well,
it's used for usually?
Sedation.
Yeah,
Okay.
how would someone get that prescribed to them outside of hospice care?
I mean, who says it was prescribed to them? I mean, I'm just saying.
No, we're
Right,
just
but I'm
wondering how did they
saying-
get it? Like we're trying to figure out how they got the medicine.
If somebody was to like fake a prescription or something, like
I mean,
If
sure,
you were to
you
give
have
a
a
reason,
prescription, you could steal it from a pharmacy, you
or
could
you just go. If you were to
pay
go to a
somebody else who
doctor,
has a legitimate prescription. I mean, it's also an anti-seizure med. That's its original purpose.
See, that's what I'm looking
anti-seizure.
for. Anti-seizure. Okay. So that would be the person. Okay. I was
Right,
just
but-
curious.
I mean, pick your poison, right? People can abuse anything. Anything that is for one purpose can be
Oh yeah.
misused, abused. I mean, it depends on how you want to define. I've seen medical charts where people have been described as someone who abuses nicotine, but then I've seen other people where it says somebody who uses nicotine. So, is there a practical, purposeful use for nicotine that's a good use for it? At
The
what
other
point
people,
from
the other
abuse?
people slap their box around.
I mean, they use it interchangeably. I
But
think
probably the people like this be abusing it. You know, hit the top of their pack.
those who pack them.
that's
Yeah.
nicotine abuse.
They're abusing
Whenever you're
them.
slapping them cigarettes,
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm going to picture from now on if I ever see that
that's a
phrase.
nicotine abuse. That's
Ay.
funny.
But I mean, this is kind of part of the reason why I'm really interested in this topic is because when you start thinking about drugs, molecules, things that affect our body, things that affect our brain, things that we have socially accepted. For example, I started listing out different drugs that religions have used in their worship practice. And I've gotten things like peyote, ayahuasca, psilocybins, ergotamine, THC, opium, ethanol, alcohol. I even wrote snake bites, but that's probably more of a toxin technically. And then I started thinking about alcohol. I mean, alcohol's also socially acceptable so many places, but
just reminded me that one of the things I read, just briefly, I didn't look into it, but it said something about the prophecies at is it Delphi in Greece or Sparta?
Oh, the
By
oracle.
the
stuff, or-
Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle was who I was thinking
Mhm.
of. They think that there was some kind of gas, like ethylene gas or something like that, coming from some vents out of the mountain.
Stop.
That they might have been tripping on while giving their prophecies and whatnot.
Stop.
ether.
Not exactly ether, but
No,
I
wait,
don't know the
no,
effects of
I
wait.
it.
think you
Like,
fear
they've
loathing
done,
Las
like-
Vegas, though.
They've done.
This is not like confirmed. I think this is just a
a little
possible.
hypothesis, or
Yeah.
have they started doing actual?
This is just a reasonable hypothesis. Nothing. That's,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that they've like found that the gas was there. So like, oh, maybe they were breathing too much of this stuff by accident.
I wonder if it made them accurate.
Maybe we need to go there and start having some of that and see what we
Right.
to see the future.
Go where?
To
Greece.
was it Delphi?
Oracle of Delphi.
Where they at?
Delphi?
I had found a couple of different things that seem to have originated from Greece, or like just ancient Greece, and some different hallucinogenic, like I think maybe cannabis. Obviously, alcohol was pretty much already invented. What Egyptians that we know of invented beer, but who's to
Like
say?
Sumerians, right?
Huh?
Babylonians.
Wasn't it? Doesn't it go back like way back?
Beer? I thought it was Babylonians, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, it was.
it's easy
All
to
cultures
do.
had some
You
kind
could
of brew,
probably
right?
do it by accident to some degree,
Right.
and make it better, right? Honed over millennia. Yeah, it's pretty good now.
Pretty sure with some old grapes or something.
Right.
I wonder how. Like I guess the container, if they had it in like a jug, and were able to like, yeah,
I
and
mean,
just like
The first
accidentally like,
beer?
oopies.
I really would
The
like to know how
juice
they
is getting
first
me
discovered
feeling
beer.
funny.
I've seen birds get drunk off of apples rotting off of a tree in autumn, and they eat
Right?
fermented apple that's
Mhm.
rotting and swerving and hitting things. So nature It's
Mhm.
nature's drug of choice, I guess. No, I think
That's one of them.
that I guess what I meant to say earlier was just that there's a lot of stigma, I would say, that goes into so many drugs. Like I even hesitated titling this episode with the word drugs just
Right.
because
There's too
it
stigma
might
attached
get
to
banned or something, just because heaven forbid
You're
it
not
says a
wrong.
word. But like when I it took me a while, but like when I finally got to classes that were talking about like biochemical molecules, like molecules that make up our own cellular structures and enzymes and all these kinds of things, I think that's about the time I was like, oh, so like really anything's a drug. Like when you're talking about it on a cellular level and a molecular level, and this is, this molecule enters the cell this way, it gets taken up, it gets broken down, it gets sent here, it gets, it gets metabolized, it gets turned into these two products, and one of them gives you a hangover, and one, it
I
starts
did a
to
speech.
make sense that really anything is kind of a drug if it affects our bodies.
I was gonna say I did
Glug,
a
glug,
speech
glug.
in a class like a year ago, and it was about drugs. And I remember there was a very specific definition because I wanted to know the answer to the question that I have in my mind right now, and I can't remember the answer to it. But there was a distinction on exactly what is a drug, because obviously not everything's a drug, because water, we're classifying chemicals that are drugs as being distinct from water in some way. Vitamins are different than drugs, but it was something just like any chemical that can cause a
Biochemical reaction? I don't know. In an
a
organism?
something like orgasm.
In a human
So-
organism. Orgasm.
Well, it's a
Whoa, what?
Whoa. Where is this drug?
Oh,
Wait,
the
and
word
how
was,
do we find it?
Yeah,
the word
please.
was anything that could cause a psychoactive effect at all. That's what it was. Any
Okay.
chemical that could cause a psychoactive effect.
Wow.
That's
Medicare has a definition for psychotropic medications, and it's super not helpful, by the way, because it's so vaguely worded that it's basically like any drug that affects the brain. And that is pretty much every drug that does cross the blood-brain barrier, which is a barrier of extra thick cells that protect any old molecule that's in your bloodstream from getting taken up into your brain. It's a layer of protection. And so only some molecules have the capacity to cross that barrier. And those are drugs that tend to affect your brain.
What drugs do not?
So few. Not so few. There's plenty of drugs that don't cross that barrier.
Besides ones that never enter your bloodstream in the first place.
But if you're talking about drugs that people take to get high, I would say there are none of those that, all of them have to cross the blood-brain barrier, because that is the point. If the recreational use of it is to cause an effect on your brain, how you think or how you perceive or how you feel.
Dr. Time Waster, I think you're wrong.
Lots.
You're forgetting that we have reptilian DNA.
Yeah, it's called evolution, and we probably got a lot more than that in there.
and alien DNA too.
And alien DNA, apparently.
I hope so. I think I'm a little bit more.
Where's your neck of the woods? I'll come out there and clear those weeds right on out for you.
We're like, we used to be part snake at the bottom.
Yeah, coffee and cigarettes, of course.
Tobacco use is definitely part of Native American religion a little bit.
That's right.
Probably some other religion too, but Native American.
Rastafarians.
Yep.
That's
the only drug that they allow, that they really don't look down on, is cannabis.
I even made a list of religion, substances that religions will ban. And granted, the list can be quite exhaustive, and it would just be easier to say there are some religions that ban all substances.
Right.
But I wrote down things like caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and then I wrote vaccines, and then I just wrote healthcare, because I don't.
Mormons ban hot drinks, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
not caffeine.
cap-
It's not caffeine.
No,
Right.
it is.
No, they can
Yeah,
have caffeine.
No, they can't.
Yeah, they can.
Now they can.
They
They've
have
always
soda,
been
they
able to
have
have
soda shops
caffeine,
all
but
over.
it's basically it's kind of like culturally looked down on, but like the sodas, it's never been looked down on any sort of capacity. Energy drinks kind of is, but they still have energy drinks too. I think that's kind of a
That's weird.
yeah, but the main thing is no coffee, no tea, no drinks that you would have hot. So you can't have iced coffee or iced tea.
Oh. Well, the regular old Baptist church don't care.
Can I have soup?
They don't care what you eat. They prefer that you don't, but they don't care.
I guess soup is probably not a beverage to them, but I don't know. I've had water soup for dinner many nights, and that's a beverage.
Hot water?
Water soup.
LDS or LDS is your favorite?
You're right.
Oh.
Yeah, she definitely got that in the wrong order.
Oh.
Talking about Mormons here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, my
Good save.
Hey man, my Christian years don't know what you're. I'm sinning.
Sinning.
You're sinning by listening.
Knew it.
I personally liked mushrooms. Did we put that thumbnail that I voted on? for
What?
this? Did we
No.
put that thumbnail that?
Oh, yes, the pick. Yes, I put the one you voted for because
Mhm.
you
Cool.
responded
one.
and Ryan hearted it, so it was the winner.
I
And Tyler didn't object, so
Well, I
silence
couldn't. I couldn't object.
silence is consent. It's not my fault. You didn't say anything by the deadline.
I have enjoyed fungi every time I've used it, and I know that it has been around in cultures all across the globe for as long as we really historically have records back to. I know in Scandinavia, a lot of like
I used to
Norse.
love dark pepper.
I don't know exactly how mushrooms fit into their religion, but I'm sure it did. Culturally, they were used a lot, and including the soldiers that would eat them and become superheroes or berserkers before going into battle. Or they just, I don't know, if you've never taken mushrooms, it makes people into superheroes. You could lift a tree out of the ground potentially with your strength. You have all
Mushrooms,
the.
I thought that was PCP or something.
That's what I thought when I was a kid too. I don't know what PCP does, but mushrooms will give you super strength. They also make alcohol not affect you, or any other drug. Nothing stronger. It's just once that's in your system, you're there.
You're on a ride.
You're not gonna.
Can't get off.
There's nothing you can do to affect it.
You'll have
I
to
can get
remain
off.
seated and with your tray table in an upright and locked position.
Remain calm.
Don't panic.
Even through turbulence.
Deep breaths.
But,
Yeah.
they will give you strength, though. Jesus give me strength by eating these fungus.
So
Whenever he's imagining the Holy of Holies, is that what you're talking about? Like his
The
visions?
Book of Ezekiel as a mushroom trip makes a lot of sense.
Doesn't it?
and I'll be totally honest, I don't remember anything. If you put a gun to my head, I would be able to tell you what was in that book or what
I
the
just remember
significance
a
of it
few
was.
things.
But I believe you.
Ezekiel 23:20 is my go-to Bible verse to quote for people.
What does that one say?
Oh, is that the horse one? Okay. I guess I do know that one, but that's about it.
You know it more than you think.
There you go.
That's the old horse cock verse.
When I heard the
after
whole
the
phrase, the whole scripture quoted, I was like, oh, wait, I have heard that.
I zoned out, and all I came back into was something about horse cock.
Yeah, the Bible is dirty. And
Ezekiel
That's
23:20.
a dirty book. They want to put it
Ezekiel.
in schools with the kids. Are you kidding me?
this also, I agree. Even when I was a
Revelation as well.
young Jehovah's Witness who was trying to believe, I clearly thought this sounds like how people describe drug trips to me.
Mm.
So how would I know this guy's drug trip was more real than anyone else who says they have a similar or crazy or wild experience and they believe it too? How do I know that all of these people are how can I trust that? How can I
Right.
believe
You
it?
gotta have faith as a Muslim.
That
Ooh,
is
right.
what I was supposed to have, but my standards were too high even at that young of age.
Your
that
standards
my brain
can't be.
just wouldn't let it go.
That's the devil. Your standards can't be higher than the Most High.
Or I was autistic. I don't know. We don't test for those things in.
No, not a BW, and
How do you turn
definitely
your
not
brain
girls.
Have you tried turning your brain off? Yeah.
And back on.
Oh,
No, not back on.
Yeah.
Not if you're gonna stay in the religion.
I had read. I was. Oh, wait, hold on. I found this weird ass.
Gotta have faith.
From the Journal of Psychedelic Drugs. I don't know how reputable this journal is, but I found this article from the Boston University Libraries. I don't know. And it's called Toxic Eucharist. And basically, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole abstract even. But it's something along the lines of there potentially being a whole branch of people who do a psychedelic Eucharist of eating the
body.
is it just the eating of
Sacrament.
the body or is it the whole sacrament, the drinking of the wine? And
I
They're
think
using LSD on the Eucharist.
it didn't specifically say LSD. It was talking about perhaps it may have been an old practice like in early Christianity or something, which would explain the revelation. Although
I
is
thought
that
you meant
true?
currently there's a group of people that are
There
putting
could be
LSD on
still.
Eucharist.
I don't. If they're talking about it, it's possible.
Right.
I don't know. But it does. This was part of the. Oh, I'm curious now. I want to learn more about it because at first I was interested in this topic just because of the different variety of substances we could talk about. But now I want to deep dive some of these weird.
I'm still wondering if there was any drug use with Zoroastrianism. I would Google that myself, but I don't have the capability of doing so right now.
way to guilt trip there, everybody.
Yep.
Please.
Hey, extra, can you use that machine for me? Type something.
Lickety clack.
Lickety clack.
The Greeks had some potential, obviously wine, but they also had possibly this like hallucinogen that was in it, but they think it was more ergotamine derivative. So ergot being the
precursor to LSD.
Yes, it's a precursor to LSD, and it's also like what they suspect. Because it's moldy hay is like a hay is a really great place for it to grow, and so like cows eat it and hallucinate. Well, they also think that's what the girls in the Crucible, the story of the
trials.
What's that?
Salem witch trials.
The Salem witch trials, yeah, where they called everyone a witch and stuff, but in reality, they were probably just 16th century, 15th century girls. Just accidentally tripping out on some hallucinogens. And then they have to justify their existence.
I'm glad I asked about this.
Zoroastrian, good narcotic.
What does it
Looks
say?
good, right? Do you want me to read that?
Sure.
Okay, so the herb of the Magi, Zoroaster's good narcotic. The ancient religion of Zoroastrianism is still a practiced faith today, and its influence on the cosmologies and beliefs of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam has long been noted by religious scholars. However, okay, okay, cannabis, come on, give me the good shit. That was just like, sorry, come on.
It's a gateway drug.
Okay, wait, here we go.
Scared the shit out of me.
Zoroaster is commonly said to have spiked the haoma with mang, which was probably hashish, it would have prolonged the intoxication and further stimulated the imagination of the drugged man. Of such are the wonders of heaven.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, the in the Zoroastrian tale, the Artak Virasnamak, hell, purgatory, and heaven, the rewards bestowed on the good and the punishment awaiting the sinner, are here described in a vision induced by hashish. Wow. And they imbibe an intoxicant composed of wine and hashish, sleep for days. Okay. So yeah, sounds like that was all good in the hood.
I think
mellow-
I
that
might
mellow-
accidentally be a Zoroastrian.
that mellow fellow's pretty decent over there.
Right here.
Yeah, I've had that brand.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a real recommendation right there. Free
Oh,
advertisement.
yep.
You can send us a check. Sleep easy with CBD.
Yeah.
Mellow Fellow.
They do other stuff too.
Not a sponsor of the show. Just-
Not a sponsor of the show.
Not a sponsor.
Okay. So that's cool. Good to know.
That's sweet.
I want to learn about that religion a little bit, just to see what's up.
It's pretty interesting. One of my favorite parts is the sky burials. I would love to have one. It's when you just leave
Oh,
your
don't
loved
they
one.
burn?
No, you
Or
leave
they
your
just
loved one
let
out,
the
and
birds peck at you, and
yeah, the
Oh,
Ugh.
that's right. That's right. They used to do that, I think, up until the 1970s or something like that.
Ugh.
they closed it in 1970s. A temple
Yeah.
that Zoroastrians would do it at.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
But there's still cultures that do it, like on beaches and stuff. Let's see. The only other thing I know about it is the good god that everybody's worshiping is Ahura Mazda, and the bad one, aka Satan, like god, is Angra-Mainyu.
Angry man, you.
Angra space Mainyu, Mainyu.
Oh my, that's a name.
Yeah, it's a name. That's all I remember. Sky burials and the names, and that it's a dualist religion that came
We'll learn
before
more about it.
Judaism.
Well, it's not surprising to me that there are a lot of various cultures over spans of time and distance that have all kind of come to similar conclusions on things, like, and I'm being very vague here, but like, I mean, how many different cultures and religions or belief systems that have evolved over time all have incorporated some kind of hallucinogenic or substance that they can use in their worship that makes them feel closer to God. But like, it's not that surprising. It's also not that surprising that various cultures all around the world all had a flood story, because they've probably all experienced a local flood in their civilization at some time
Because
Global.
that
people
has
tend
gone
to
down through
settle
stories.
near
Global
rivers.
flood.
I don't think there is any evidence there ever was a global flood at
Yes,
any
there's
particular
plenty.
time.
There's plenty.
Mhm.
They
I
all
seen
come
it.
from
I saw a
different
DVD.
versions of the Bible.
I saw a DVD. Well, video of a guy proving it.
Mhm.
Just Ron Wyatt, or
That's probably who it was.
It was probably Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
no, the Noah's Ark guy. What's his name? Ken Ham. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I love that Ark Museum. I think it is so fantastic.
I would
I'm
love
so
to
glad
go
they
there.
did it.
I would love to go there.
I would
The
too.
Art Museum?
Yes.
Just to look.
Yeah.
It looks cool. One, it looks cool from an imaginary standpoint. Like, oh, this is cool. But
You
then you,
wanna go through it?
but then you realize, like, wow, most of these people believe this is legit.
They think
yeah.
it's true.
And they're like,
This is their,
looking
like,
over every
Smithsonian
flaw.
Natural
they're
History
wa-
Museum.
Yeah, they're walking through. They're walking through real events right now.
Yeah.
That baby dinosaur right there really was right there.
Yep.
Mhm. That's where it was on the Ark.
But they
and
couldn't
forced
even
face
build
down.
it. They couldn't even build it, though. They can't replicate it. Nobody can replicate it.
Because God didn't tell them to.
Right. Yeah, God it
Probably
happened.
because it wasn't
And then
real. But
corrupted.
Yeah, you got to be told to do
Magic. So why bother then?
it. Mhm.
Money.
Why
Prove it's
bother
real.
even?
I
I mean,
think-
for just all right.
My thing is like
Because
if they
look
want
up
to
a-
prove my
Look
thing
up
is like
a
this,
clip
they
of
want
Mr.
to
Krabs saying money.
look. We done built all these amazing ships. Now you just go build that ark and put it on the ocean. Let us see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us
That's
see.
all I'm asking for. They got the
One-
instructions right there in the Bible, right?
Right there.
You
Drop
know
it
what?
out.
If a billionaire can build these stupid ass little bubble ships that can go to the bottom of the goddamn ocean,
Should be able to build an ark.
Mhm.
why don't you just try to build that real ark and
glad you
see
brought
what kind
that
of
up.
animals you
Mhm.
can fit on there?
I'm
Like,
glad
that
you
kinda-
brought that up because similar to submarines that are built with carbon fiber being a bad idea,
Okay.
a boat that is like twice the size of the Titanic being made out of wood is a bad idea.
could have some
'Cause
problems.
wood bends a little bit too much.
But how
or
did they stop? I'm trying to figure out how did they
something that
steer the
you-
ship?
God
guess they
steered
didn't
it
need
with the
to.
waves.
Oh.
yeah, I guess. Right.
Meanwhile, while
Yep.
he had time to build the ship and secure enough food for all the animals. Sounds
Mhm.
legit to me. I believe it.
So weird.
But remember what we learned from the creationist books is that the animals can evolve, but only within their own kind. So he only needed to get one of each, a pair of each
Kind.
kind.
Only a house flies, and then like
Right.
that
And
made
then
wasps
they
later on and all that.
evolved into all the varieties of.
Oh, okay. So evolution happened
Chicken.
after Noah.
It's always happening, but that's
But what
Wow.
did it? But the question is, like, if you got, what did the meat eaters eat though when they got off? They had to eat something at
They
some
ate
point.
they
Because
were not
if there's no, so if
God
there's
made
no,
herbivores.
so how did every animal get where they were supposed to be at now? Because if they got there, that means there's nothing there for them. They'll be dead. There's nothing to eat there. What did they wait on?
There
What
weren't
was they
any
wait?
plants for the
We have a
herbivores
doubting
to eat
Daniel
either.
amongst our ranks, right?
No, the olive tree was still there.
But 40 days and 40 nights, that tree's dead.
No, olive tree can survive. God said so.
Okay. See, I
But
keep
just top of
missing
Mount
the
Everest.
magic.
Oh, that's why they be doing the olive oil with the anointment. Now it makes sense. It just dawned
It's
on me. That's
also
why.
culturally a tree that grows in that area everywhere and is very multi-purposeful.
But if the lions arrive at the plains in Africa, wherever they at, if they land there first, like, what are they doing? Everything's all muddy. Like it's muddy. Like
Where did
muddy.
Noah live?
Muddy.
What civilization did Noah live in before the flood?
Mhm.
Well,
The
he
same
wasn't.
area he was in when he landed, more or less.
Does it even like specify anything about?
I mean,
Um,
I think
oh,
it's just
shoot.
that's where all the books are from. That's where everybody's from because that's that was
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah. Yeah, the entire world's told from a piece of the planet.
Because like part of it is in like Iraq, and then part of it's in like Israel.
Well,
Just-
Abraham's from Ur, right? Abraham comes from Ur, so over in Iraq.
Ethiopia? Oh, that's right.
No, yeah, and
That's how convenient.
how
How convenient. How convenient. How convenient. All the stories just all in the same area, general area. How
Yeah.
convenient.
And they spread everything out.
Yeah. Yeah. In one area.
Well, it's just because the land was really fertile
But
there.
they didn't know it was another piece of the planet. So how long did they discuss? How long did they knew there was other places on the planet?
So we all agree then this was just a hallucination induced by a drug.
I want whatever they was smoking.
Yeah,
Did you know
they're smoking.
that the global flood supposedly happened while Chinese history was going on, and their history doesn't mention the global flood? It just never happened for China.
Also, have we ever taken the timeline between when Noah and his family supposedly got off the boat and how quickly the population grew? Like what's the next book? What's the
Man,
time
tell you,
frame?
it takes
100 years?
ain't that many women, and they got ain't that many women, and it takes 9 months to hold a baby, and then you got to wait in off
Wait,
oh
That's what I'm saying. There's a calculated ratio. We can figure out how long it would take that many pairs of couples.
That's a lot of incest
X
going.
size population.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
incest going on.
Didn't he have daughters that he had sex with? Or
Probably.
I mean, I
Just
think
like-
several
No.
of
Just
them
like-
are related on the boat, if that's
he
what
had,
you're
he had
asking.
just like the guy,
sons-
just like old
had
dude
3
in the
sons.
cave.
he had sons that covered his nakedness.
that had wives.
Oh, he laid with
His
his wife.
sons
And
covered
then-
his nakedness is what happened.
Yes. So, and then after,
Which is a
all was
euphemism.
said- right, which they think that he had sex with his mom, got her
Ooh.
pregnant, and therefore had Canaan, and that's why Canaan was cursed,
Oh.
but not the land,
Is
the boy.
an orgasm a drug? Because I feel like a lot of religions, like they control people through sex, and sex has a reward system, obviously.
Yeah.
You can't be spilling seeds.
I mean, it's an addiction.
It's not a drug,
It
but
can
it
be an
does.
addiction. Excuse
It
me.
does work just like a drug does,
Oh,
but it's not a chemical. It's an action.
it's a chemical chain reaction of sorts.
But I'm not saying you're not introducing an outside chemical to make the
No,
dopamine release.
no, you're really just shifting things around in your brain. It's a chemical reaction that's induced. But yeah, but it's similar kind of
Nonsense.
result when you think about it. Like people take
Dopamine rush.
medicine and drugs, or however you want to calculate it, whether you want to say it's used or abused. People use things all the time, whether it's a shot glass at the end of the day of whiskey, or a cigarette, or other more socially acceptable things, or less socially acceptable things.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
That's less socially acceptable.
How about gambling?
Nowadays, it's way too socially
It
acceptable. It needs to
seems,
be taken down a notch.
really easy to do that.
Yeah.
I wrote down supplements because I think some people just love their supplements a little too much.
Yeah, especially like them spiritual girlies and boys too, like the gym boys, the gym bros. Yeah, definitely.
They always sell some overpriced supplement.
How much of supplements are placebo effect driven?
Probably.
It's gotta be like,
I wouldn't know how to calculate that.
man, it's
I
gotta be a
really wouldn't.
significant chunk.
I mean, don't they say on the side of them that they're not like
The claim's not evaluated by the
So,
FDA
you
or
guys-
stuff like that.
Aware that any over-the-counter, anything that's classified as an over-the-counter supplement or herbal supplement is not evaluated, not that it matters these days, but not evaluated by the FDA for any kind of claims that it can
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Most of them have to go through at least some kind of safety proof that they do something safe, but pretty much everything you get that's a supplement over the counter is pretty hands off. There's lots of problems with them, like where did they even come from? Are they really what they say they are? Which brings the placebo question up.
I saw, have you ever heard of Tylenol cyanide murders?
oh
Yes,
yeah, somebody
That is the reason we have tamper proof and tamper stuff on all your products that you buy medication wise. So like that's why everything is tamper proof, because some guy went around and tampered with them all and put cyanide.
Did
His
he
name
go
was
to
Tamper.
this- So I just saw like part of a show on it. So I never did like finish watching
no
it.
tamper allowed.
So did he just like go to stores and put it in
I
at the
don't
store?
remember the whole story, but yes, somebody for whatever
Somebody
incentive.
worked there or
So
something.
started just tampering with the Tylenol, putting cyanide in with them, and then just putting them back on the shelf for people to buy and take home and use. And so yeah. And then they're like, hey, maybe we should put something on these things so we can guarantee that no idiot has just ripped open the bottle and taken out and replaced it with something else entirely.
I like how we learn.
Yeah.
But we
Somebody
all
ruins it for everybody is all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
we could have tamper-free medicine bottles.
We have a trustless society because
Oh my
somebody always ruins it. Somebody always
Yeah,
finds a
unbelievable.
way.
Can't even do it. Can't even have my tamper-free drug.
So what
Oh
other
shoot!
drugs and religions we got? Ayahuasca.
Well, and is ayahuasca from? Where's ayahuasca from? Actually, I
South
don't.
America,
Is that okay?
but I don't know beyond that.
They starting to put that stuff everywhere.
Ayahuasca.
That they using that word on stuff. Every time I go, I say, oh, that ain't the same stuff them people be taking.
It's some kind of drink that has like
Is it
LSD,
hallucinogenic
DMT like
properties?
effects. Yeah, it's some type of psychedelic hallucinogenic.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'd be down.
So, is it invalid to use a psychedelic or psychotropic or anything that affects your brain? Is it wrong to use that and feel like that's worship? Is it like it? What do we think? Like,
I mean, I definitely think that the use of mushrooms can bring you closer to something that
is it cheating or is it the door?
it is kind of cheating. You're supposed to like meditate and focus on your breath to get to this kind of point, but you can just eat some fungus and be like, oh wow, I'm not my emotions and thoughts. That's just an illusion.
So, I think I think you guys probably figured out what I know, and I don't even have to say anything. But um, I think that I grew up, and I'm assuming any other ex-Jehovah's Witness and possibly fundamentalist, religious, Christian kind of groups, and just in general in this country, there is a lot of stigma around what is perceived as drugs. Again, but just like hallucinogenic things or recreational things. It's interesting to me how demonized a lot of it literally has been to the point where when I was a teenager in high school, I was very straight-laced. I did not do anything, honestly. I look back at it and go, girl could have had a lot of fun.
Oh my god! We didn't.
Loser.
I
Loser.
Not fair.
But like alcohol's the worst, and that's okay. I mean, okay, as the hypocriticalness aside, it's demonized to the point where literally I was taught that if you took any medication that affected your brain like that, then you were opening yourself up to demons, and they're gonna come. It's a doorway, a portal.
Yes. Oh god.
And they're gonna get in there, and they're gonna, I don't know, whatever scary story
Take
you ever
control
heard
of
growing
you.
up, be possessed, something,
Make you do bad things.
get
Worldly things.
depression, you know.
Watch bad movies. Oh my god, who is that?
It's his.
It's mine.
It's his. He's so proud of
That's
it.
from when
To
you
this
were
day-
May 20th, 1997.
Are you fucking
Wait,
no, that
when
thing
did
is
Terminator? When did
it's
Judgment
Chris.
Day happen? Skynet. When did that happen?
I earned that, and I stayed true to it. I stayed drug free and alcohol free all my childhood.
I didn't graduate there.
I did. I was straight, what they call it, straight edge.
Were you really?
Oh real.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
It's a lot easier whenever you're a kid and nobody's offering you stuff.
Yeah, nobody's offering me. Right.
True.
Nobody's offering me anything.
Nobody
Well,
ever
when you're
offered
a
me
kid, no one's
anything
offering.
other than a beer.
But
Like,
also, I just assumed, and the people I saw that I assumed everything was crack cocaine, like effect. So so the only people I saw, I said, oh yeah, I ain't. Ugh. Ugh. Somebody tried to give me advice. Yeah, dropped like a little crack rock on the ground. He said, "Don't be like me." It's cool. And I'm like, don't worry, I wasn't even considering you as an option. I don't need. I never needed. I never needed this. I didn't need to see. I didn't need to see you. I didn't need you to tell me not to do that. And it's like, so yeah. So I stayed true. You know,
It probably helped for him to tell you not to do it.
it didn't help. I already knew
It didn't
before
stick
that.
in your mind.
No, it was here. That isn't why I didn't do it, because he told. I just said like, I honestly, I just didn't want to. Like
you don't want to end up like him.
I didn't like the movies, man. TV did a good job, man. Making like I didn't want to be in the back alley trying to get money for it. I'm sorry, I just didn't want to.
I saw Requiem for a Dream. I did not want to end up that way. Yeah,
Pop Rocks.
Ooh, Pop Rocks.
I love Pop Rocks.
And we had like one kid. He had died from drinking and driving. So it's like,
oh no, oh yeah.
I said, I'll do it.
That's a shame.
And I didn't have, and also more so, I wasn't like so cool that the people that was doing drugs gonna give me some anyway. It wasn't like it was like just so hard for me to avoid it. It was just like it was never an option for me. I was never.
You're saying you really weren't tempted because you literally weren't tempted.
Yeah, right. I was never tempted. Nobody ever asked me.
Hey, Satan was like, "Nah, why bother?" I mean,
nobody came over to the Pokemon circle and asked me. After their match, would you like to go smoke a little bit back here?
He's like, I was never tempted to do drugs. You never wanted to do any drugs? Oh, I wanted to. No one ever tempted me.
I just didn't get
the chance. Yes.
I was busy. I was busy being odd and different.
Same Z's.
Yeah.
That's all the more reason why people sometimes want to do various substances to make that feeling go away or easier or make, fit in just simply by joining in,
My drug of choice was TV. Yeah. I was shooting
I would say we'd be lying to ourselves if audio visual things we expose ourselves to all day long don't affect the brain. But
I was shooting up every night
before like 2000.
You were shooting up
every night. Every night it was a TV. I cannot watch TV.
Drug of choice.
Yeah.
But it did. Then I hit fast. Fast food was kind of like I wasn't prepared for fast food because I didn't grow up eating it like that. And it was never like because the only time we ate it like maybe once a month when we went to the neighboring city, so it wasn't never readily available to get it. When I first time I got in the place, I come back here again. Oh man, I'm coming here every day, and then it was just.
I grew up having Happy Meals.
Chick-fil-A for the first time back in the day. I ain't never even heard of that place before. I said, "Oh, what is this?"
Ooh, and fast
now
food.
You worship the altar of Chick-fil-A.
It was. I don't even like Chick-fil-A anymore now. I smashed it so much back in the day. It was like I was not prepared. I went hard. I was eating like more. I was Taco Bell, ate it every day. Man. It was just,
wow.
It was just. I just could not. I had never had that type of food that accessible ever.
That's what I was gonna say though. A lot of that is just because of how accessible it is.
Yeah.
I think it's just like your exposure or lack of exposure as a teenager, lack of temptation, having nothing but that being like the main and maybe even just being so busy and worked and overworked and tired that really your only option is the drive-through.
Now you get to talk to a robot at the drive-thru.
Yeah,
What?
At Taco Bell.
I haven't seen. I haven't experienced one of those yet.
No, for real?
It's
That's
AI.
when you order 80,000 waters.
Yeah, it's AI. It's pretty accurate too.
Oh,
Like I
really?
was when I pulled up to it, I said, "How you gonna know?" Because I like to swap things out, and they let me do
Wait,
it.
how did you know it was AI? Like it sounds
Yeah. You
the
don't
good
like you.
AI.
Yeah, it sounds like the good AI. Yeah, they using and they
Okay,
said
but
they
it's still
implement AI in there. So it's like because it's not like talking to like the automated how it used to be automated. It's like talking. You don't even have to say. You just talk like you regularly talk, and it makes it up. And I said,
dang.
Mhm.
still somebody working at the window up there to hang you food, but
Right.
other than that,
Interesting.
Those AIs,
I don't go there anymore, so I didn't know that.
if they come into a problem while you're ordering, it'll just connect it to the person that's working.
Mm.
yeah.
So that's why I said that's when you order 80,000 waters,
Why
because
would you do
then
that?
the screen will start to type in 80,000 waters, and they'll immediately wonder what's going on. They'll hold up.
Top Stepper immediately wants to figure out if he can break it.
Wow.
Right.
Well, some systems you might, and yeah, I want to know if you can break it.
See, that's
Yeah,
what.
I
Don't
mean-
worry, Mr. AI. I know you hear me. You can get him.
I just think of the dude from I think you should
Overlord.
leave or whatever that show is, and he's at the drive-thru and he's
Tim
like,
Robinson.
60 chicken nuggets, 45 fries.
Yeah.
It's like at
55
that.
fries,
It's like
5
at that.
shakes.
It's like Idiocracy. When remember he was ordering at the machine.
Yeah. But I need the fries to feed my kids. And it's like, hey, we'll take your kids away, you negligent monster, or something. Something along those
Megalomart.
yeah, so let's see. We've talked about I mean, do Jehovah's Witnesses are, I think,
It's just
Hold on, and we got 11 years until that.
11 years till all restaurants are Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
11 years.
Every restaurant's Taco Bell.
Mhm.
Taco Bell is the new drug.
Mm.
Well,
It's getting pricey now, so I'm about to. I don't go like I used to.
Is there any so Pepsi owns several restaurants. Is there any restaurants owned by Coke? Owned by Coke?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I
that
don't
they-
know. Good question.
I don't know.
Because if there's Taco Bell's, there's going to be Pizza Hut.
But I don't really know who really owns
And
anything.
KFC.
Like who owns all the
Maybe it's just the AI.
maybe
There are all those subsidies and
Yeah, you don't know who owns nothing.
I know what you're saying, like
We talking about
You
Grant
know,
Corporation?
they got the trust. They buy a trust. The trust owns that. and you
Yeah,
gotta go get
yeah.
that, and you'll never know who owns what.
Shell
whatever.
Corporation?
it's like like an umbrella company and
And you got regular people trying to do that.
right.
Stop that! You can't. You don't have that many things. You don't need no shell company for your one small business. It's not your business.
but I want it to grow and be more
Yes.
corrupt later.
they want to avoid tariffs.
Or taxes.
And
Uh,
Texas.
Let's see. So the Jehovah's Witness way is basically nothing that's fun is allowed or
That sucks.
saves your life, apparently.
So yeah, there's no drugs for the Jehovah's Witnesses except alcohol is kind of lax.
They say in moderation, but we know that that's. I mean,
Right.
I knew a lot of
remember-
people who got drunk all the time.
Right.
Yes, I remember being like between the ages of like 19 and 21, and my mom saying like, "You don't hang out with other Jehovah's," or maybe I was still in high school. How come you don't hang out with the other Jehovah's Witnesses in the congregation your age? And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to go to the parties where they're all getting drunk? Because that's all they're doing." And I don't really want to be drunk around those people. I didn't say that part, but
They got a lot of pent up frustration.
Yeah, it was. Well, one, I wasn't really friends with any of them because I don't trust them. They're not my type, and and they were all just getting wasted at parties, and I really didn't want to do that. And
I know me and your mom raised you better.
you raised me right.
Thank you, Dan, for the $10.
Oh,
Dan
10
said
for
that
the-
he wants 3 tacos and a Mountain Dew, please.
Ooh.
He's
yeah.
putting his order in now.
A Baja
Thank you.
Blast.
I like going to the taco truck down the street from my house.
How much can you get for a taco there? Like how much do they cost?
$10 I could get 5 for $10.
For real?
So,
That's not a
there's
bad deal. Thanks, Dan. I was
There's
hungry.
a new Mexican restaurant here in my town, and I went in there the other day, and I'm pretty excited about it because they had a lot of items on the menu that a lot of these Mexican restaurants don't have. I had sopes, which a lot of these Mexican restaurants still have. This is the first one around here I've seen have it. But they also had tacos de lengua, and I've never had one, but I've heard that they're really good. That's beef tongue.
I saw that on TikTok. You are part of the algorithm.
How did
you know to bring that up after I saw that?
I was about. You probably saw it because
FYP.
I went and ordered it, and it was like, oh, your friend saw this. It's probably why.
That is disgusting.
That's how AI is working.
Mm.
Anyways,
I'll eat it after they cook it though.
I was going to order it. They said $5, and I was like, man, that's too expensive for one taco.
Jesus.
Nah,
But supposedly they're really good. I kind of want to go back. I'll probably try one next time I go there.
We got this place called Torchy's Tacos. It ain't Mexican. It's inspired.
I'm gonna add tacos to the list of drugs that we'll worship.
They got one called Trailer Park or Trailer Trash or something like that. They got all types of things. They got one called the Republican, one that called the Democrat, one called the.
Oh, you told me about this, but
I don't even want to go to the place now because I do that.
It's so good.
I don't play into this political culture war shit.
Oh, I just said that's the name of taco.
I don't talk about you. I'm saying it annoys me. I don't know.
Oh, I
saw a burger place that had like all kinds of like Republican stuff, and then they had like
we got
Democrat burger that.
Oh yeah, they made like trash.
Yeah.
But they ain't. But I will say this though, it's not like they didn't make the tacos taste based on the name though. They're both pretty good. It's not like it's either. You don't know whatever they are. That's just what those two are called. And they're pretty good. But they're expensive, so I never got.
Hungry.
Yeah. They just started becoming a chain out here. So.
Yeah,
they're pretty pricey.
I was gonna say we're off topic, but I think food can affect our brains too. So
oh yeah,
I mean, it definitely does.
Yeah, you be hungry.
Definitely in a lot of worship.
Be sitting in church hungry, you get upset.
Angry me is not a good me.
That's where you just start accepting what they're saying so they can hurry up and get you out of there. Yes. Yeah. I'm hungry.
Is that why there's so many religions that want people to fast?
Yeah.
Because it just puts them in an irritable mood.
People say, "Yeah, you need to fast." Yeah, fast. All right. Yeah. Okay.
I've never fasted like that before. Like I'm sure I've gone like at least a day.
Yeah, I want a day without eating.
Like something like that. But I've never been in a starvation situation, obviously. And I would consider fasting for more than 2 days a starvation situation.
Oh God.
Well, medically, I think they deem it like a week or something. But
you'll live.
I used to go.
Well, you'll be a terrible person.
Very easily, and now I couldn't. Sometimes I can't even go the morning without eating. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna die. No.
Wow. I have to remember. I have to remember to eat.
I'm not a breakfast person usually.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Breakfast
really
is.
But sometimes,
unless I sleep in really late, sometimes then I'll wake up and then I'll be like, "Ooh, I want breakfast." But then by the time I actually do anything, it's probably like 11 o'clock.
So. Well, let's go to Taco Bell.
With the medication I'm on, it makes me very hungry.
There's plenty that would do that, but oral steroids would probably be my first bet.
No, it's cannabis.
Oh,
Medical marijuana. The medicine I'm prescribed makes me very hungry.
Oh yeah. Tell the truth, then backtrack with the lie.
They were both truths.
It's not the new
Hangry
truth
for
though.
Jesus.
It's not the true. It's not the new light. No.
Hang here for Jesus.
You know, so there's like taking stuff to hallucinate. Then there's also withholding things that can make you hallucinate. So dehydration can make you hallucinate. Obviously, we're talking about being hangry. So low blood
Breathing.
sugar can clearly affect your mood.
You can control your breath to have psychedelic experiences.
That
That sounds like too much work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but
risky. What kind of experience? Talking about like seeing stars float past your eyes?
No, similar to mushrooms, you can have like your ego dissolve. Wim Hof method is what people do to experience some highs through breathing.
So like a
holotropic breathing,
like a hypoxia-induced situation, like a hyperventilate, so that you kind of, because hyperventilation is a kind of hypoxia, and then you can pass out.
There are at least 2 different methods, and one of them has more hyperventilation than the other does.
Ain't that like when the people put the belt around their neck?
That's
asphyxiation. So
okay.
Autoerotic asphyxiation, one of my favorite.
There's an X-Files episode where they talk about that, and it's hilarious.
You say X-Files?
Yes.
R.I.P.
It's probably one of my. It's probably my favorite episode.
You know that if you watch it.
Hey, since you've been out sending it in the streets, I watched a 4th episode.
Oh, damn, burn. That hurt. Ouch.
My favorite one's in season 2, so you got a ways to go.
Yeah, got a ways to go. I'll get there.
I'm
not gonna tell you that I started something new,
I
of course you
don't care.
So we're definitely getting off topic now. Are we done exploring the topic?
Are we done exploring? Why do you have something else you want to talk about?
No, not really. I'm actually kind of done.
You're bored with the topic now.
Yeah.
All right.
He's plateaued.
Yeah, plateaued.
I was just gonna say, like, starvation and fasting could be a form of withholding things from yourself. Then there's also like Lent and things where you're supposed to withhold pleasurable things or something. But at least that's my interpretation of it, without ever having done it.
It's not for me. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do none of that.
I'm not gonna be doing that.
I love pleasure too much.
This life is already fucking shit sometimes.
I'm not gonna be hungry. I'm not gonna be hungry. Hungry and poor. I only can do one.
I only have enough spoons for one of those, and the other spoon I'm gonna be using to eat.
And to purposely do.
And if you stop eating, you'll save so much money. You won't be poor anymore.
Yeah, but but a lot of my favorite things revolves around like how am I supposed to eat when I'm watching a movie? How I'm supposed to enjoy the show
you're gonna drink water.
Water
soup from now on every day.
The food tastes better when you're watching something.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
So that's where I have my dinner, is with the TV show. So.
They got us hooked. They got us hooked.
Samesies.
It all started with TV dinners. I don't eat those no more.
And TVs. They go hand in hand. They went hand in hand immediately.
Well, before they'd probably gather around the radio.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm making shit up.
if you really think about it, our favorite thing as humans is story.
Entertainment.
Oh,
yeah, entertainment is our favorite.
We've been telling stories since
forever.
Since we've been talking.
There's really only 2 things. There's either stories or something that turns your brain off, which originally was fire. You can just stare at fire, have your brain off. Then TV. TikTok.
mean,
Like going to like a trance.
run
and now
into
we
the
still
right
go to-
mushroom and stare at the fire, and you've got a great evening, I guess.
Yeah.
Or a really bad one if it was a poisonous mushroom.
Oof. Yeah, imagine the
Oh,
first
yeah.
people trying them out.
Especially
I don't
then,
know.
especially.
I need that.
I think a
Yeah.
poisonous mushroom that didn't also kill you, and you just horribly sick for weeks or something.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
Yeah,
you.
clinical drug trials back in the day were okay. You try this one,
Right.
you try this one, and we'll see who lives.
After
Oh,
extensive
no.
clinical trials, Jerry's dead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
50% of the patient population died.
What's next?
Movies.
That sucks. Well, it don't suck. Thank you. They did it. I appreciate it.
Right.
Now we know what
Your service.
Because one thing, how long did it take them to figure out they could smoke weed?
So like when people pray and they thank Jesus for dying for all their sins, or that Jesus like is who we should pray to because he makes our lives better and he fixed everything. But like I want to pray to the people who sacrifice their lives to find the right mushrooms to eat and the right
Mhm.
berries to eat and the right
We need to honor them by going
Honestly,
on
it
to,
was-
amount of
We
Hey.
should thank the animals because the animals were the ones who taught us. You know
but
what I'm
we need
saying?
to-
We
Yeah,
didn't
we
provide
come up
the
with
shit
shit.
that
We
the
watched the
mushrooms live in.
animals do it and then did it.
but we need to honor them and just go into the woods and start randomly eating.
Don't do it.
that would change your memory.
That's going to prove your faith.
That'll last
Hey,
one
you
night.
Prove
studied the
Darwinism.
lore and
That's
can
gonna
find the
prove.
right ones too.
You're just gonna try everything and see what happens.
That'll last one night.
Yeah. Or not.
I mean, harvesting is. I mean, it's kind of popular right now. I not popular, but people have picked it back up, which I think is really cool. But I hope they pay very close attention to
Right.
like the books they're reading and stuff, and taking good advice.
I don't get into foraging because of that reason. I'm too scared that
Yeah.
I'll like not read like every sentence. I'll
Yeah.
skip over one little tiny
It's
detail.
best to do those things like as an
I like
apprentice,
the-
you
I
know.
like
Right.
the forage at Kroger's. Just walk
Little
around.
safer.
Oh, I never tried that one before, but I
Shut
know I'll
up.
be alive. I know I'll be alive still. I want to thank the person. I
Hiking
would,
boots on and your camo hat.
I would like to thank whoever did my grocery store pickup because they picked the best grapes ever. They picked it better than I picked. It's like I said, wow, they got one that they all big and round and none of them rotten. Man,
It's the
Which
grapes
grocery
from
store?
Yeah.
Which grocery store?
Kroger.
Does it not
Kroger
tell
is
you
great.
who picked
And
them?
maybe Fred Meyer is somewhere else.
Kroger's the best grocery store there is.
Sorry,
No.
I can go there
Kroger.
tomorrow.
No, HEB is the best grocery store ever
Never heard of it.
Mm.
because it's
I
only
heard Rite
it's
Aid
all-
was going out of business.
Yeah,
Been-
they're
right.
closing.
Hey, guess what? Rite Aid been out of business down here.
Really? Oh,
They've been gone.
they're gonna leave
Well,
a
you-
lot of empty real estate.
I,
People are probably chomping at the bit for that.
I thought they've been gone. I haven't seen a Rite Aid since I was.
They're all
here.
around here.
Not up, but up here they are going down now. Finally,
Equidrugs, Rite Aid, and they all just became CVS and Walgreens.
you said they saturate every flipping flapping corner, bruh.
I've never seen a Rite Aid in my life. It's
Yeah.
all
Well,
Walgreens. for
here
me.
there's just like CVS.
yeah.
There's one every so many miles, just like a Wawa, just like
There are
fucking
churches
Walmart.
or altars. We go there to worship.
Oh,
Yeah, it's called. It's just called.
Rite Aid.
I remember Rite Aid a long time ago, but I thought they were gone. I did not know they were still
They're
around.
still around
Pharmacists
right now.
go to worship at the Rite Aid.
That's sad. A lot of things are gone.
Yeah, it's interesting how much unemployment there has to be right now. Like seriously.
Let's take code 10.
What's that?
Take code 10 and learn coding. You can make $100,000 a year.
Oh,
That's the ad I keep seeing every day. Get
I'm
code
sorry,
10.
I'm sorry.
Learn how to code. I said,
I can't be taught new tricks.
what? There's no
Learning
point.
Learning how to code has got to be like the worst advice you could possibly get somebody right now.
AI is about to take that.
Exactly.
It's about to take that. They don't need that many people coding. Man,
So
I
back-
like it. See, they got me in a tough pickle, man. I love AI, but it's doing the wrong thing.
It's doing a
It's
lot
doing
of wrong
art
things.
while we are doing all the work instead of the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's doing everything. It's doing all the things, but you need money to live still. But I say, hey, man, come on, chill out. Y'all doing too much with it. It's supposed to be
Oh, my
Star Trek. We're supposed to be Star Trekking with that technology, and we're not even doing it.
Welp.
We ain't ready for it. We ain't ready though. Look, I'm ready.
What? Emotionally, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Prepared. I'm mentally am prepared for it.
I'm ready, but I be looking at the way people move around. Like they ain't ready for it.
We're not ready because there are people who still, don't believe that the Earth is round. So
Yeah.
it's we're still a far cry, unfortunately, from transporters and replicators.
Yeah.
I think we're probably we're probably the first group of non-believers that actually exist. That's going to actually really exist in history. Like it ain't gonna be like a because they always talk about the history. They never talk about nobody not believing really. So you just assume everybody back then just believed in something.
I
Yeah.
know.
But we know that's not true because
We're here.
everything's a spectrum.
I know.
I should
have been born. I gotta find a way to freeze myself.
Well,
Maybe like Fry and Futurama, or
I want to wake up in 11 years when Taco Bell's reigning supreme.
the restaurant wars have been won, and you better fight for Taco Bell so that Chick-fil-A doesn't win.
Colonel Sanders and his Chihuahua has slain the Chick-fil-A cow.
KFC trash now.
Yeah, but they're both owned by Pepsi. That's why I said
I think
KFC. Colonel Sanders and his Chihuahua. Taco Bell doesn't have a Chihuahua anymore. Do y'all remember the Chihuahua?
I know, Gidget.
I remember the Chihuahua.
Do y'all remember Taco Bell commercial that said?
The Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
Do you remember a commercial that said "Make a run for the border"?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
That would be play right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, man, that's
remember
oh, don't worry, man. Back in the day, boy, the news people are vicious.
All right, folks.
Thanks for hanging out. Well, I'm curious now, and I want to learn more about religions and substance use.
Yeah.
I have some time. I might try to do some reading about like other cultures.
And also, like, how do we, because I was looking through a list of a lot of them, and some of them seemed very like cultural appropriation-ish. And so I was like, you just want to make a church so that you can also do psychedelics, which why not, I guess, like why does it have to be based on a culture to want to do it? But seriously though, like how do y'all sign up for that? Can we make our own religion?
I've already thought about this.
Be tax exempt, and also, we can abortion drug has got to be on my list of things that my religion would let me take. So I'll just start listing all the drugs I'm allowed to do
with your religion.
Yeah, I mean, especially.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing.
What's that?
Yeah, I didn't see nothing.
I wasn't looking.
I didn't see nothing.
Oh.
I ain't seen nothing.
No, I don't pay attention. Yeah. Anyways.
Chat.
Well, thank you guys. It was great to see you. I missed everybody.
Well, I mean, hopefully we'll do this more.
Hold on, somebody asked a question down there.
Oh, questions? We don't do that here. What?
I abuse drugs.
Do I get accused? Do you get accused?
I mean,
why?
That's how do I answer that? I'm prescribed medical cannabis, and I will drink some beers, but that's it. In the past, I have used many drugs, and abused them. But no, I try to be pretty careful now. Just the medical cannabis.
Is
But I would
that your
recommend
final
mushrooms. I
answer?
would recommend mushrooms to people. If I come across some mushrooms, I might take them.
I used to be a heavy drinker back in the day.
But no, nobody accuses me of it. I think I'm pretty normal. I don't do
Yeah.
anything bad.
I would say you're normal.
Whenever I do take anything, like if I have more beers than normal or anything, I stay at home. So
You're smart about it.
yeah.
Well, isn't that what we're really concerned about as a society? Is like how people can maybe become intoxicated to the point where they might harm themselves or other people.
Right.
And I think if we're really honest, that's our biggest concern because it's been stigmatized and it's been demonized, literally. But there are times when it's not
More
good, right?
Whoa.
More isn't always better, and there's.
He said tobacco is peak.
Ooh, no, I used cannabis to get off of tobacco, and I feel much better.
I'm reading the comments down there. He said tobacco is peak and it makes you have more riz.
Yeah, no, I feel way better switching the tobacco for cannabis.
That's what the tobacco companies want you to think, right? That's why it was only the cool people smoke cigarettes in the movies and all that stuff.
Man, cigarettes used to be. I remember seeing the kids who used to smoke cigarettes. I used to think like, man, their life really going down. They need to get it together, man. They over there smoking cigarettes. What the wow?
Tobacco in particular is
restaurant
really harsh on your lungs.
I'm talking about the kids. I thought they threw their life away in high school. I said they threw their life away smoking them cigarettes. Man, so
I had a real bad smoker's cough when I smoked cigarettes after like only a year of smoking.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And it didn't go away until after I stopped smoking cigarettes.
But when you actually think about cigarettes, it says a lot though. So like there's millions of people who they know like, yo, this is this poison. I'm gonna smoke it.
I would say cannabis definitely will affect everybody differently. I mean, there's a reason it's got a medical use. I will use it and be able to do homework or win chess games, solve complicated puzzles, communicate with others more efficiently. Whereas a lot of people will use it and all the opposite is true. They can't do any of those things.
Yeah.
And they're much worse at it than they were beforehand.
Yeah. People always be surprised when I'm talking. They're like, usually I say, yeah. I can comprehend and read.
Bare minimum.
Depending on how much though.
Low bar.
It's the limit though. You can't get too zooted.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess we out of here, folks.
All right. Love you guys. Hopefully we'll do this again next week.
Most likely.
Yeah, for sure. What are we talking about? I don't know. Either I'm gonna deep dive into this topic more and have something interesting, or we'll figure it out.
I don't think there's more in here.
It's a mystery, so stay tuned.
We can pull out.
I also want to come up with some trivia in the future. I might do that next week or the week after.
I thought we was going to talk to AI and have AI give us the answer to the truth.
That's right.
Next week we will start.
I already forgot.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. That's the show, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.